It's pretty problematic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe it was also shit. I think it was like you framed that against like teachers with OnlyFans. I think is what it was. It was something.
I did a bunch of teachers with OnlyFans shows.
Yeah, because they were getting found out and then fired.
Yeah, which
and
I hate.
That seems fucked up.
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Right. It's not like the students are on OnlyFans.
They shouldn't be.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm very anti-firing somebody because they have an OnlyFans page.
In this economy?
Definitely in this
girl.
If I could promote it, I'd have one.
Uh-huh.
It's just the promotion part of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you could hire an intern.
Welcome, sluts!
Hello, America! Welcome to another episode of the Puro Pinche Podcast, where we talk shit about random shit. My name is Chibbi.
My name is Rooster.
And we're here again. In your ear holes, on your TV screens, consuming your eyeballs, and
fondling your brain marbles.
Your brain marbles and tickling
erogenous zones,
tickling
perhaps.
your gray zones, your gray matter zones. I don't know. We talked about holes, balls, marbles, and folds. So let's go, people.
We're pro all those things, by the way.
Exactly. Whichever one you want us to tickle, infiltrate,
lather,
fondle, caress, or pound.
Just let us know. DM us.
You know where to find us.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
This is a family-friendly show, y'all. Also back on the pod, our senior East Side urban black correspondent, Paul.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. This is,
You were just such a vital part of last episode's superhero movie conversation that, like, I couldn't... We couldn't have today's conversation without you.
I realized that silence is a thing, too.
It is.
It's powerful.
It is, exactly.
Especially when you have no idea what they're talking about.
You know what? Sometimes more people should be silent.
Dude.
More people should be silent.
No. More people should shut the fuck up.
Well.
Yeah.
On that note, I'll see y'all.
Rooster's like, I have nothing to contribute to this. Cool. Well, then let's just dive right into it, y'all.
Yeah. On today's pod,
I'm bringing the topic. So I listen to a whole lot of podcasts. And one of the ones that I listen to, so I work for a nonprofit that helps people that are in the tech industry. We are not in the tech industry, but the community that we service is. And a few years ago, I was having a conversation with my boss, and I was like, I know nothing about the tech industry. Like, I use tech, but I don't know anything about the industry. And they recommended a few podcasts that I should listen to. And so I started listening to this one. It's called Hard Fork. It's by the New York Times. And it essentially, like, became a podcast about AI. And so I was listening to it, and they brought up this new software that's out there right now called Pangram, which is used to detect whether writing was created by AI and how much of it. And those have been out there for quite a while, right? But what sets this one apart is the accuracy with which it detects. And also, what I thought was funny, they talked about how they got their like data set for it. And it's like they were comparing, let's say, they'd ask an AI to write an essay about Hamlet as a 7th grader, and then they would actually have an essay from a 7th grader that was written like pre-2022, so you knew it had no AI in it, right? I just thought that was really interesting. But in any case, we're all writers in this room. And so I wanted to bring the topic of large language models and how they are infiltrating writing, education, all of that, right? AIs can write your essays, your emails, your articles, your captions. Schools, publishers, employers, and platforms are all responding to the like AI generatedness. You know, AWP is having a meltdown over what to do with AI generated romance novels. And the detection itself is also wonky. Sometimes it's like, this is AI, and they're like, no, it isn't. And sometimes like, this is real, and it's like, no, it isn't too. So today what I want to talk about is, you know, how do we figure out who actually wrote it? What schools are supposed to be teaching? Whether AI detectors are becoming robot cops? why AI slop pisses us off, and whether handmade is becoming a premium. So we all are approaching this from different perspectives. And so I just kind of want to start there. Rooster, you are a college English professor. Your perspective.
Pass.
You're like, no. Hard stop. It all sucks.
So, okay, let me give you the very, very quickest answer I can on this.
Yes. Because we'll get into the nitty gritty.
One of the things I always get across to my students is I literally do not care what you write. Y'all are writing about the same shit. Y'all are writing about whatever, fucking
just say
fossil fuel. Hamlet's fine. Y'all are all writing about Hamlet. I'm not sitting at home with bated breath on this 18-year-old's perspective on Shakespeare. Like it's going to change anything. The point is, do you have perspective? Do you have understanding, like literacy skills? Can you formulate a critical thought? AI removes all that immediately. I don't care. I don't want the perfect paper. I want your perspective.
Okay.
And so AI immediately removes that. So it's just terrible all around in that sort of sphere.
Okay. Put a pin in that because we will come back to that. All right. So, but your stance is essentially AI
take it out of schools. Period.
Cool. Paul, you have dabbled with AI. I've seen some animated series that I'm like,
nope, talk about it. Jump in there.
My whole series is AI. That whole
yeah.
I got Well, the poetry according to Paul page on IG is
exactly.
The poetry is me.
Yes,
but everything
the
else,
animation
the
is
animation.
not.
Yeah, I can't animate shit.
And then also, you are a parent of high school, college age kids, right? So that's an interesting perspective. So, like, what is your stance?
As a tool, in any space, AI as a tool, I'm pro. As a tool, AI as the genesis of a thing, from genesis to revelations of a thing, or start to finish, I'm completely against. So that's my overall stance on just the AI space that we're in. Like as a tool, if you're needing. I used AI to build out my business plan, right? But I literally built out my business plan and then gave it to AI to tweak.
Okay.
So from that's where I look at it.
Okay, put a pin in it because we were coming back to that thought as well. And then I use AI pretty regularly. I think anybody that's watched any of the social media clips for this podcast knows that I don't write those. Yeah. Those are 100% AI generated. But it's like I don't claim to write them. And also, like, girl, I don't care. I just don't. I really hate marketing and promoting. So like, I just don't care. So like, I use it for certain things, but I don't use it in a way of like saying like I wrote this and putting that out there. Right. And so that's kind of where I draw my line. So on the subject of like who wrote this, right, and as a tool, we're gonna play a quick game of rapid fire of who would you say is the author in these situations, AI or a human? When spell check catches a typo.
Author.
When spell check.
AI or human?
When spell check.
Who's the author? Like, let's say there's an essay on Hamlet. AI catches a typo.
Hamdat.
Yeah. AI catches a typo. Spell check catches a typo. Who wrote the essay?
AI.
AI wrote the essay.
Wait, if spell check... Okay, I'm sorry. If spell check catches a typo, who wrote the article?
Who wrote the article?
Human.
Yeah, and I'm like, that one's not that hard. Yeah. Grammarly suggests a rewrite for a sentence.
So you're already at the point where it's like, it's AI.
Okay, so at that point, you're like, if Grammarly says that, like you're using present tense incorrectly here and the sentence should be worded this way.
Because again, the point is you can use, Grammarly is like a calculator for English. So yes, it'll produce the most grammatically correct sentence.
Yeah.
But if the goal is for you to fucking learn grammar, you didn't learn grammar.
Okay.
So
okay. So at that point, you're like, from here on out, fuck it. It's AI.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, tool. I'd still say human.
All right. That one's the same thing.
Wait, backtrack. Yes, to Paul's point. I'm in the education space when I'm
Yes.
answering that question. But if I'm saying like an average person wants to check their grammar for something, fine. You're using it as a tool, and that's one thing.
So if there's an article online and they say I used Grammarly, it corrected some of my grammar, the authorship still is a human. Yeah. Okay. You give AI your argument and ask for an outline, and then you write your essay. AI wrote it at this point.
You give AI the argument. AI writes the
Outline. You write the essay.
And then you write the essay. Human.
You give it your research and your notes, and then you ask it for a first draft.
AI wrote it.
Yes.
Yeah, AI wrote it.
It writes the first draft, and you substantially rewrite it.
AI wrote it.
Substantially is the problem there for me. Human.
It writes it, you change some words.
Oh, AI.
Same.
And you basically tell it what to write and say, make it sound like me.
Yeah.
It's AI.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think that's the interesting question of like, where does the line move from like assistance, from like a tool to authorship? Because like I think the analogy that sometimes is trying to be made here is like, it's like a calculator, right? I'm using AI like a calculator. Like, yes,
in this sense,
but wait, because yes, if it's spell check, no, if it's doing the thinking for you, right? Like in certain instances, it's not being used as a calculator. It's used as a co-collaborator.
Right. But that's why I disagree with Rooster on the Grammarly part. Because I think if I draft the thing and then Grammarly, not as an educator, just in general, if I draft a thing and then Grammarly just goes in to make me look less dumb, like corrects my tenses and all of that thing, then I still drafted it. Grammarly's just making sure that my grammar is correct. And so in that space, I still think that's human.
So here's a good point to that, though.
You make no good points.
I'm out. I'm going to shut the fuck up and I'm out. So there is a problem with some of these questions. Not intentional, but
Sure.
it's because the question really depends on the context of where it's being implemented.
Of the purpose for it, yes.
If Paul uses Grammarly to fix a letter that he's going to send to his congressman or something like that, or whoever, just, some person, so that it sounds more grammatically correct, it's a tool. But if, say, Paul wants to get a grant and it's a literary grant, or for example, and you send a Grammarly adjusted letter, should the people who receive that letter, since this is like a literary grant, and they kind of say like, well, one, if Grammarly does a bad job, how do you know that it did a bad job?
Right.
If you don't know grammar.
If you don't know grammar, that's issue one. Issue two is if the literary organization gets your letter and it's poorly grammatically incorrect, then that's kind of, do you blame yourself since you're the human who wrote it, or do you blame the AI?
Well, I think that's the question of like, so is authorship determined on who had the idea, who did the thinking,
No.
who chose the words, who made the final decision on what gets released?
It's a process. It's like I think we're treating AI like it's an oven that you put bread in, or like you put dough in that you like had your hands on, and then it comes out as bread, and that's.
But it's a bread maker, not an oven.
But but then that becomes its own thing, because it's like, well, what if I use quick mix versus the person who actually used eggs, flour, this, and then the
Did
bread
I tell
maker.
you the bread maker story for Christmas?
Well, no, hang on, put a pin in that. I want to hear what Paul says.
Well, no, because I was going to ask you a question in regards to this, though. Like, separate but same, okay? There was a lady who alleges that in a sit-down meeting, she was talking to Eddie Murphy and mentioned the idea of coming to America.
Yeah.
Right? So she threw it out there like, this is a thing that I'm thinking about. It didn't have any legs. And then Eddie Murphy goes out, writes, directs, produces, makes Coming to America, and she says, hey, this is my story. Is that her story or is that his story?
So, okay,
This is the entire premise of the movie Power Ballad, by the way.
Yeah.
So Power Ballad with
I don't know.
Paul Rudd and
No, so
the other
okay.
guy.
This is also a big this is part AI propaganda, part a legitimate question about art making in general.
Right.
Because there's the quote, good artists borrow, great artists steal.
Right.
And that's true. Like art pulls from so many different ideas that have already existed or other movies. I know like when I'm creating art, I'm looking and listening to all different types of things that then influence the flavors of what I have. So it's hard to kind of say, to answer that question artistically. I would say it's Eddie Murphy's movie because he wrote the script. Like she had the nugget that he then turned into a whole buffet, if you want to, you know, But with AI, the problem isn't like, hey, person I had a conversation with, you had this kind of small nugget of an idea that I then turned into Boss Baby, you know, or something like that. It's like
bomb ass movie.
Yeah. It's like you're literally sitting around with no ideas, and you're just like, hey, AI, give me some ideas.
Well, no, I don't know about that specifically. I think in the situation that you're talking about, Paul, Eddie Murphy was this lady's AI. Right. She was like, I have this idea. It would be great if there was a movie or whatever, right? And so if she had fed it into AI would have produced the script for Coming to America, right? Or whatever. Like
it would have produced a script, not the one that we love.
Yeah, sure. The script, right? And so I think that goes back into like the list that we were going to, right? Like if I have done all the research, I've taken a bunch of notes, I've done a bunch of interviews, and I give it to AI, and then AI writes a first draft of an essay I'm trying to create, right? Like who wrote the essay versus if, you know, like it gives me the outline and then I write the essay.
You know,
right? Like,
and I think audience matters, right?
Yeah.
Because if I do all of the research, I do all of the things that take, and then I put it into AI, and then AI creates the thing, creates put a pin in that, and then AI creates the original draft. And then I go in and take the original draft and create something. If my audience is college class professor, I can see the idea of this was AI. But if my audience or literary grant, and that's kind of where we're at in this because we're all creatives at some point. But if my audience truly is just, in this case, if my audience is my job because I'm giving a presentation on why they should give me $1 million salary, if that's my audience, then this is still my idea. This is all me. AI just, again, was a tool. It wasn't the catalyst for anything.
But let's pull a pin out.
Pull the thread.
Because I don't disagree with you. What is getting lost and needs to be defined isn't for me the audience. It's, well, what is the draft of? And couple ideas. One, if you did all the research on why Paul deserves $1 million raise, and you put it into AI, you did all the research, you and then you put it into AI and said, hey, draft this up for me. If it's just a presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation for you to then go take to your boss and stuff like that, I think that's fine. But if you're saying like what I think you're talking about, Chibs, which is I'm a researcher in an academic space, blah, 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 and I want the AI to generate a report for me, that too is okay. Because it's just, hey, take all my facts and statistics, put it in a report so that I can show you this report because I don't want to write a report. But if you're doing, let's say, like sociological work or something where you have to gather a whole bunch of data, you run a whole bunch of surveys, you have all that data, then you need a collaborator. And they do this all the time in academics where it's like, hey, you're the writer, I'm the researcher. And I've done shit like that because it's like, I don't like fucking research. But there's people who love research who also don't want to write shit.
Yeah.
But then we work together based on your data, based on everything like that. And then both of our names go on the title. The problem is if you're a researcher and you just don't hate fucking writing, and then you come up with a draft on like, what are the socioeconomic problems of the East Side? And it has like, deeper than just facts and statistics, like
There's a difference between a report and an essay.
Essentially, yeah. Like you didn't,
or article,
yeah. Like
or
you
whatever.
didn't come up with that, and you put your name on that, and that's that. So it's like you have to kind of look just also in the context of what is being generated.
Yeah, I think the question of audience though is I think also important because it's like I've had this to talk about later, but because it brought it up, like. Because who's consuming what or what you expect, like, is important, right? And you choose how important it is to you, whether or not it's AI, right? So, like, for example, if I subscribe to somebody's Substack and I pay $10 a month for their Substack, and it turns out that all the articles that I've been reading from them are AI, some people would see that as like, well, you're ripping me off, right? I paid for your perspective and I'm getting AI generated articles, right? Or if, you use AI to write a tweet, to write a text to your girlfriend might be pissed off that they weren't your words, right?
And this has happened.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a whole app for that, by the way.
Yeah, and it might be problematic, but if you use AI to generate the captions on your social media, Instagram reels.
You go first.
Yeah, right. I'm like, it may matter less.
Matter less to what though?
It doesn't matter at all.
No,
that
but
part.
time out. No.
It's like,
it
I
doesn't
hard
matter
disagree.
at all. It does not matter.
I hard disagree.
especially like for the case of this podcast, right? Like the content is the video,
Right.
Also, personally, I almost never read captions on any post, right? Especially when like the content is the post itself, not the caption.
Right.
The content is the video, and obviously the video is us live talking, having conversation, etc.
Right.
The caption itself is there because it needs to be there.
And I'll say this: most posts, especially in the current day of Instagram, I'm speaking Instagram and TikTok. Sure. Most posts, the only way I'm reading the caption is if it's a still. If it's an image of Chibbi, just a still picture doing nothing, then I'm gonna read because what is Chibbi saying?
Yeah.
If
But if
he's moving,
if it's
he
a video,
says a word,
if it's a flyer, right?
I'm never looking at the caption. And so if the caption is AI, who cares?
So here's why I'm pushing against
And
that.
don't give me this data center water bullshit.
No, I'm not. I promise you I'm not.
We're not. That's not this
you
conversation.
used to do video editing.
Yes.
Like more. And both of y'all did, in a sense.
I mean, I still.
Well, no, and honestly, my question to you is, did you, because have since moved on to AI, doing a lot of that for you. Do you?
None of my captions are all me, but that's different.
No, not just the captions. I'm just saying, like, let's go back to like the podcast you used to do on your own.
Right.
Like when you would clip up for media, social media, did you enjoy that?
No.
Would you pass that off to AI?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this goes back to what I'm saying. You use the clips and AI because you don't want to be a video editor.
No.
You want to be a guy on a microphone who's a personality and does this thing.
Yes.
And that's fine. And same with you. And I think that's fine.
I don't want to comb through an hour of
Right.
conversation to find the 20 seconds that are worth
Fair.
putting on social
But
media.
So this to me starts a different trend that is a bad trend, because this goes to your, if I pay $10 to someone's Substack and I find out that it's all AI generated slop, like I take offense to that. This is the problem that I see with like, well, who cares about, like, you're kind of saying like the slop is okay here in these small micro ways. But then, but here's the problem. Techno bro, y'all aren't, but like, as it progresses, is then there's so many people who just want to be famous. They're just they'll push the AI to these points where it's like, well, who cares? You had a good time reading my Substack, so why does it matter?
That's,
and so you're literally devaluing the audience. That's why, like, I've maybe used AI once or twice for posts for blah, hated it because to me they always sound stupid, but. Sometimes I have fun writing those posts.
Sure.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to put a little joke in here just to see who the fuck's reading it.
Yeah.
And sometimes people catch it. And to me, I think the slopification, we'll call it, wherever whether it's on these flyers that people hate now.
Oh, I hate them.
But that's my point. It's just like, but this same argument can be like, it's the flyer, dude. But why? And it's because a lot of these people want to be the performer. They don't want to be the market. No, you're right. It's like we don't want to be. We don't want to be like, as a writer personally. I don't want to be an influencer. I don't want to be a marketing person. I don't want to have to do all these things. But now it's just become the nature of what we do.
But I think there's a difference between using it, like Because I use a program where here's the hour-long clip. Give me a bunch of 30-second bites. Right.
No, that's
like,
a good point. And sometimes I think those bites suck.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah. but that's my point.
And I still go back in and review the bite, and I was like, okay, cut this, cut that, move, add this, etc. Right?
Yeah.
Like, but in that instance, it's not generating content, right? It's a video splicer, right?
But if you had an editor who's like, which we can't afford.
Exactly.
But like, so again, I'm not bashing the AI for that, but like having even a video editor to be like, hey, when y'all were doing this thing about like shut the fuck up, that was really funny. Let's put that clip out. Yeah. Like the AI may not, and then when you're kind of just going through, it creates a system of Slop creates a system of passivity to me, where it's like, yeah, I guess that doesn't matter. And so like funny shit that may go viral, we don't post because you're trusting AI to do the thing.
Student Paul.
So here's
But go ahead.
Here's kind of the space though that I look at, and I've gotten to with AI, right? AI will continue to shine and grow in spaces where there are no major barriers to entry.
Right.
So we're seeing AI now in music. We see AI in writing. We see AI in these spaces. And initially I was like, yeah, get that out of here. But where I've changed is I'm now looking at it from the perspective of no, the cream is still going to rise to the top. Like, you can give me 50 AI artists, rappers that make great rap, but that's not going to stop Kendrick from being Kendrick. What it will prevent is Lil Tank Tank from being from being as popular, because now Lil Tank Tank has to compete with this AI situation. Kendrick does not have to compete with AI, or Lady Gaga does not have to compete with AI, but Lisa Guerrero might.
Shout out to Lisa Guerrero.
Always welcome on the pod.
But she's not good though. No, she's not welcome on the pod. She is
I don't know.
She is
a horrible performer.
She is a bad person.
Yeah,
she said racist things.
Yeah, she's horrible.
Actually, this is just a made up person.
We just made her up. Now, that's something Lisa Guerrero's gonna be.
Apologies to every Lisa Guerrero that actually exists.
No.
You are welcome on the pod.
No. Say it again. Say the name again.
Lisa Guerrero?
Yeah, I
that's
said
not
Lisa
her.
Guerrero.
Guerrero.
Yeah. Two
Yeah,
different Lisas.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I said Lisa Guerrero.
Lisa Guerrero?
Yeah.
Your abuela is slapping you. Okay.
But so I've started looking at the AI that way. So if you have these AI romance novels that are start to finish being created by AI from beginning to end, and what's going to end up happening is, they're going to exist, but the great writers are going to still have a space because they're great writers. People are going to want to hear or read these great writings, and the AI can exist in the hole that it exists in.
I disagree with that.
I want to get back to this idea of, like human content will still be valuable.
The premium,
right?
what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. I want to get back to that, but put a pin on it. The thought experiment here is, you read something, you love it, you laugh, you cry, you share it with your friends group, and then later you find out that it was AI generated. Does it change how it made you feel? Yeah. And does it change how you feel about it?
Okay. So this is that question is also kind of connected to what Paul said.
Yeah.
The cream rises to the top. Here's the problem with that. Yes, Kendrick is going to out-rap and create interesting product over AI, but Kendrick is an established artist. The problem is Little Tank Tank, or we'll use whoever the new Lady Gaga is that when you're a new artist and you don't have the funding, you're doing this all on your own, and AI is generating work that is better than your shit. And then not just that, but then the studio labels, the publishing houses, the film industry, all like the major money people start investing in that more rather than your development. Even though you do have talent, it's not going to rise because now there's a second barrier to entry for you to even get better. And so that's why what you're seeing now is a lot of artists, new artists who are now leaning into AI usage because that partnership helps them sort of break through or be cream that rises to the top. They're using their talent that they have with the product, the tool, in order to sort of even get recognized. But like, that's, I guess what I'm saying is like, we love Little Troy. Is that song a Kendrick song? No. Like, who want to be a baller? Like, no. But could AI make that song? Absolutely. It's not hard. But see that's my point. Is it's like we're losing that. We're losing a Lil Troy want to be a baller. That summer it came out and it was the shit. Because now, and this goes to your question about like the feelings that you feel, is I would even be less upset about it if everything that was AI generated was AI branded. Because if there was Lil Trey who did this AI version, not real, even existing person version of Wanna Be a Baller.
Which exists.
Which does exist, yes.
These fake
bands,
influencers. Yeah.
Yeah, musicians. And I like it, but I see the brand. Now I have to consciously decide whether or not I like it, but whether or not I take it. I think you bring up an interesting point about like fantasy and romance novels and what we read and what we like. People aren't reading books. Like that's at the heart of it. And so what you have is you have fake writers or someone who is a person using AI to just generate 10 volumes of a book and going on Amazon, pumping it out there. Because you didn't spend months or years creating it, you can now spend your money to have Amazon or Google or whatever market platform your shit. You can generate a following, and then by the time you're 2.5 years into it and people are like, oh, you didn't write any of that, this is fake, even though you are a real person. Now we have to deal with like your marketing scheme.
And or like
it's like, you know what, it's almost like
it's the like, and we liked it. Now I don't
know.
No,
you know what's funny? Time out real fast. Have y'all seen the IG clip? And I love it. And every time it comes on, it cracks me up. It's this dude on like a college campus, and he has these little cups of like ice cream. And so, but he's like wearing a trench coat. He's like, hey yo, you want some? And everyone's like, that's funny. Yeah, let me try. And he's like, yeah. So we're really trying. And so people are like, yeah, this is good shit. You make this? He's like, yeah, man, it's life. You know, And then he's like, so yeah, we're really trying to like show people that like semen can be used in these different ways and other property. And then everyone obviously like, what the fuck you mean it's semen? Like, what the fuck? He's like, no, you liked it, right? And he's like, I didn't know I was eating semen. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah. That's how I feel when you're with what you're talking about. He's like,
your algorithm is
I've never seen this.
No, it's hilarious.
I've never seen that.
No, I'll find it.
But you know, like with romance,
and it wasn't real semen; it was ice cream. But.
Yeah. but that's a good analogy, right? Because that's the idea. Is like you consumed it, you liked it, you were for it, you started sharing it, and then you find out it's something that like you are against. It's like, does that change your relationship to it? But like I said, romance novels, because
they have a huge readership.
They have a huge readership. There's already evidence stories, these things of entire books being written by AI, and you know, low-key, like even human written romance novels are slop. So like, I don't know if you can tell the difference.
To answer your question, if it depends on, for me, what the thing is that I'm loving, right? If I see a video and it's funny or makes me cry or whatever, if it's not giving me information, right? If it's entertainment, then I don't care if it's AI. If it's entertainment. So if I see a video,
but what if they charge you the same price for it though? Because I think that's just like again, let's say there's a movie that's out and they still want to charge you $20 a ticket, and Fox, what is it, 20th Century Fox, there's no director, there like maybe 1 or 2 people on the project get paid from this thing, but they want to charge you $20.
Is it good?
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily the right like argument or analogy to make, because you could use the same.
No, because it goes to your
you
premium.
could use the same thing of like, oh well, back in the day they used to have to build actual props and now it's CGI, right? Or like back in the day they used to hand draw
and
all animations.
Movies that go too far into CGI.
Some of them, yeah, but
going too far though.
Going too far is different than actually using it.
Right, because there was a time where they paid a guy to actually get his head chopped off, and now it's all CGI, and
Kurosawa film.
And no one's losing their heads.
Yeah.
So,
which is a real thing.
Yeah. But
not that I'm saying that your argument is wrong. I just don't think that analogy fits.
And what I'm saying is, if it's entertainment, and if I pay $10 a month to subscribe to a Substack about the best
NBA takes or some shit. I don't know.
No, because that's information. If I'm paying for,
But we get NBA takes that are informative, but they don't
but if
mean shit
Motivational
in the-
messages.
Okay, sure, we'll do that.
Or romance stories.
Sure.
I'm paying $10 a month for these romance stories.
I didn't know this about you.
I love them, and
Fabio.
they're good stories. I love reading them. Like if I'm enjoying the story, and then I find out that it's AI. It doesn't make me feel less of like I don't lose the enjoyment. The enjoyment it was already had. I had the enjoyment already, and so I don't go back
But
and
then
go.
it's the ice cream cup made of
Of
life.
semen. Made of
But,
life.
well, so here, but see, going back to something else, I think we need to define 3 things: slop, pulp, and like camp.
'Kay.
Because this is the thing. You can have something like Rocky Horror Picture Show. You can argue is a shit fucking movie.
It is.
It's poorly made. Right. Like, but you understand the context.
You
of
understand camp.
Yes. And so you digest it differently. Now, slop is essentially trying to emulate pulpy, campy shit and kind of does it well because this is the argument is like, oh, but if it entertained me and it took me where I want to go, then I'm fine with it. But see, to me, that's the whole point is like, even with romance novels, are they bad? Sure. But they're pulpy and people like them for that reason because there's that whole connection to something that is pulpy and what that even means versus something that is just slop, meaning soulless, quickly generated, zero hands in the making of it. And so when you say like, I would hate to go to a movie and they want to charge me $20 to see the film and it's completely AI, even if it does look good, because I'm like, but y'all didn't do any work. And like, not to get ethical about it, but like all the people who would have got paid in this blockbuster are now out of work.
Yeah, but I think and to me, that's
and you want me to care about it, like because you didn't care about it.
To me, that's the straw man argument that we throw up about, well, I don't want to pay $20 because all of these other people didn't get paid. Well, yeah, that's
No,
that.
I just say like make it a $5 movie. Like I'm not saying that's my argument. It's like if you want me to watch this shit that you kind of don't care about, that not many people put their hands in it anyway, then I'll pay what I believe that to be worth. The problem that I see now is AI is being pushed on the same level as manufactured by people.
Yeah, but what if it's, I would rather see and pay $20 for an AI version of the end game.
I got a better example.
Than to pay $5 for the actual version of Hancock with Will Smith.
But Hancock being a bad movie,
which by the way, I like Hancock. I just
I like the last part. I hate the last part.
No, and I think that's the argument here, right? Like, is the important thing that it's human created, or is the important thing that it's good?
No,
because there's plenty of shit that was human created. And there's plenty of AI that's kind of good.
Like Little Troy's album.
Yeah.
But no. So like, let's look at it like this. First thing I want to say though is, yes, humans make bad art, but there's also risk involved. So someone had to finance it. Someone had to spend time on it, even if it's a dog piece. One of my favorite horror movies of all time, there's shit, but I highly recommend it. It's called Frogman. And it's like this cryptid found fiction or a found footage movie about, it's awesome. But
it doesn't sound awesome.
No,
as a Frogman.
It sounds like a movie that someone made for $10,000 on the hope that someone may see that and be like, hey, for 10 G's, that wasn't bad. Let me give them 30. Let me give them this. The problem with AI is they're spending the same amount of money, which is, if you go into the economics of AI, period, it's losing a shit ton of money, billions and billions of dollars, to generate shit at a faster clip. To where now, I think this is why music, a lot of young people don't listen to new music. They listen to old shit. Like, I just saw this report on it where it's like the biggest streamers right now are still like Drake, still Mariah Carey, still like people from back then. Because like, yeah, like if you're just bombarding young people with fake artists, you don't have any buy into it.
Well, that's the question, right? If there's an infinite amount of AI content out there, does human made work now become more valuable, right? You know, like, are there, do we start seeing labels of like 100% human made, of like no generative AI used,
We're seeing that
things
now.
like that?
We're seeing that now.
I know. And on the music side, like, I don't think that like the argument that you were making stands in that, there's a huge just pushback in the industry over anything like AI generated. Well, there went Paul.
Chico.
Dog problems.
He was. I saw
Hit that
him
like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Hit that like and subscribe. So I don't necessarily see that becoming an issue.
What do you mean? The pushback in the industry?
No, the idea that like people using AI are going to somehow, people using AI to generate the music that they're putting out are going to somehow overtake people that are making music just entirely on their own.
No, it's just it's like Ghostface Killer said versus the conversation of MCs versus rappers. He said the problem isn't that rappers exist. The problem is that there's so many of them. Now you're stealing my motherfucking light. Like, y'all suck. And like, sure, your beats are trendy, like it's going, you know, sure. What was that Holiday Inn Chingy song? And but that's my point, is it's like Ghostface, who has decades of amazing work that probably haven't sold to the levels of even a Kendrick or like, that artist may now be pushed out completely because you just flooded the zone full of shit.
I disagree, though.
No,
I disagree wholeheartedly. I disagree wholeheartedly.
I don't think so either.
I think those artists, because we're talking about a couple of different things here, right? Like,
who's the newest artist that matters? And I would argue, just to give my answer, is Russ.
Olivia Dean?
Olivia Rodrigo.
Olivia Dean.
Who's that?
Or isn't that her name?
Yeah, there's another.
She just
there's
won
Olivia
Best
Dean.
New Artist Grammy.
Olivia Dean's an artist.
And then look at the churn of new artists.
But I think those are two different things, though. Because the point of entry in music has gotten so low that anybody can make an album. Literally, right now, we can take this recording, put a beat behind it, put it on DistroKid, and if Chibby's fast enough, Tuesday, this will be an album, not just a podcast.
Right.
Like, the point of entry is so low, so we have. Calm down. So in that regard, though, we have a lot of bullshit in the space anyway. I think adding more bullshit, the artists that are talented rise to the top. Now, when we talk about, because what you jumped to was the promotion and marketing. I'm not talking about promotion and marketing. I'm talking about just the art. The art is going to rise because it's better than the bullshit. When you speak of, like, the new kids are now listening to old stuff, a lot of that is because
The old stuff was better.
I agree.
I disagree, though. I think a lot of that is because kids today are on this TikTok cycle. So we're streaming more Drake and Mariah Carey and all that. They're hearing a song on TikTok that's hot on TikTok for 2 weeks.
Look what happened to Fleetwood Mac.
But then it becomes churn. Right. Like, it goes and then it comes and then there's another one.
And
I mean, isn't that pop culture?
No.
Then you get an artist
I
like
disagree that.
You get an artist like if just off the top of my head right now, you get an artist like La Russell out of the Bay. Kind of made a little mistake recently.
Yeah.
But he's back trying to take that spot back that he was in. And to me, La Russell isn't a great rapper, but he's slowly outpacing all of these other up and coming rappers because he does have a talent. And he's like, look, y'all can keep churning this. I'm going to keep outpacing y'all. And it may not be a fast outpace, but I mean, it may not be a fast turnaround, but he's still outpacing them. And I can easily say, not off the top of my head, because I don't want to be on a spot like that, but there are still, especially in the music I listen to, still new artists that are coming up.
Yeah.
And you hear them and go, okay, cool. And that's in every genre of art. In every style of art, they exist.
I'm not saying they don't exist.
And so let AI be AI.
Here's a good example. Big Crit. Talented as fuck.
One of us doesn't know what we're talking
Right.
about.
But Big Crit, and he was making music at a strong clip.
Yeah.
You say the cream will rise to the top. The problem that I see is Big Crit is cream that should be rising to the top, but can't. And same with like other new artists. It's not to say they don't exist. The problem is they're gonna always be niche. They're always gonna have their following, and they can still tour and they can still create their own merch. But you're not going to have what I think is really at the heart of this argument, which is these corporations are just really trying to strip back who they need to pay to make something as fast as fucking possible and get it out as wide as possible.
But you bring up Big Crit. What stopped Big Crit from rising to the top wasn't AI.
I think it's part of it. I think it's also the culture.
Big Crit existed well before.
No, I think
this
I agree.
AI boom. So
I
Big
agree.
Crit not being not rising to the and
I agree.
wasn't AI though. So you can't blame AI for Big Crit not being. But that's what we're talking
No, but
about.
it's a change in the music industry to get away from artist development, to get away from like.
But that's not this conversation. So bring it back to this conversation.
It is this conversation. No, it is this conversation because that's what I'm saying is the record industry wants to create. Like Timbaland is trying to get an AI artist out there.
Right.
Like
There's so many. I think what you're saying is that there's so much time, effort, emphasis, resources being spent on AI generated stuff that the human generated artists are not receiving that same amount of
the field is too
push,
crowded.
Of
Yeah,
ad
they're not-
space,
yeah.
of revenue, of money, of resources, et cetera, et cetera.
That's why you
Is that the
have to
argument
have.
you're making?
That's the point I'm trying to make,
Okay.
and it's like that's why you
what I
have to be this super multifaceted. Cardi B, I think, is a good example of the other side. I don't think she would have made it as big as a rapper if she was just a rapper. It's because she was on Love and Hip Hop. It's because she was trending on. She was always like sort of a personality. She was out there doing podcasts early in the game. Like people were starting to know, and then the music bop.
Yeah.
and so it's like.
I think a big part of the argument that you're making is around the idea of authenticity.
Yes. Let me ask you this question. And this is just a general question. If you got a tomahawk steak, right, at a nice restaurant and it costs you $75.
Shit, where?
Right.
I know, right?
No. Yeah. Exactly.
Wait
But
a
this
second.
economy-
Name this restaurant.
Yeah. But it's Chili's. Right. So it's at whatever.
Never mind.
But like you can get it for $75 and you know there was a chef there, you know they prepped it, they did X, Y, and Z. Versus, or you can go to this other restaurant, there's no chefs or anything, it's all made by robots, and it still costs $75. Like again, which do you prefer? Or what do you like? But because see, I guess. Or go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Answer. I know I'm doing the thing.
Do they taste the same?
Yeah.
They taste the exact same.
Yeah.
So I got this one restaurant with the great chef, great staff.
$75.
$75 tomahawk. I got this other restaurant, purely robotic. Everything is
The hostess to everything.
everything is AI generated, but I get a tomahawk
steak
for
real
70
steak
for 75 bucks also?
bucks. Again, depends on the audience. On days when I feel like being social, I'm going to the restaurant with the people. But on days when I'm antisocial, I'm going to this robot restaurant, getting this $75 tomahawk and sitting there enjoying whatever blob is on the screen. And
I agree.
And either way, if the steak is great, the steak is great, and I'm not complaining about it.
And so then it is in your argument, let's keep on the steak thing. In your argument, if that AI restaurant with, AI cooked steak was $40 versus the $75 human cooked steak, that would justify it of like, okay, I'm not paying the same thing anymore. I'm paying a cheaper price.
Somewhat. But
Because I think that's the argument for like fast food versus, right? That's McDonald's versus Bubba's. There's you go to McDonald's and you pay $5 for a burger. I don't know how much it costs. I haven't eaten at
it's a
McDonald's in
lot.
20 years.
Actually, McDonald's is expensive.
You pay $8 for a burger. But
Bubba's you pay 12.
But it's McDonald's, right? You know the quality that you're getting. It tastes fine, right? But it's not, a fucking burger versus I go to, Babes down the street and I pay $20 for a burger, but it's a fucking burger, right? So like, I think does that analogy
That's part of somewhat
track
yes,
to what you're saying?
But here's the other side of it that I think is crucial to exactly what we're saying. The thing too is that $75 steak made at like the all human restaurant probably should be charging $125, but they're going to have to start competing with like more AI generated, more attitude, like what you're saying, like, well, like, I just don't give a shit. I just give me the thing. And to me, that's also a big part of this conversation that we're not talking about. I don't give a shit. Just give me the thing. It's like, we're losing patience by the microsecond. Literacy is dropping. People are not getting jobs because they don't know shit, like, period. And a lot of it is because students just want just give me the degree. I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah.
Just give me the person. Like, that's why you have shit like, what's that fucking hiring app that basically just AI is hiring people now, and they're having to bad results. People are getting fired from their jobs to add AI to it to then just bring the people back because AI is not doing the job right. So like that's what I'm saying. It's like it's at the core of all this. It's also our fucked up attitude because I don't disagree with you. I'm not saying like I'm independent of this. I feel that way too sometimes. Where it's like, fuck, like just give me the thing already. Like it's goddamn. But like that's part of the problem is because we're in this super fast paced world. We've lost human connection, we've lost critical thinking, and we've lost sort of community, period. Because we're just like, fuck it, if you can just drone drop me a tomahawk steak that was made by the robots and it's $30 cheaper than the restaurant, great, but now the restaurant's gone. And this kind of ties into something else, which is a lot, like it fucks up the economy. It fucks up even being able to project forward into the future because how do we know, like, who's going to be able to afford a house in 5 to 10 years if you don't know if you're going to have a job in 5 to 10 years? Like, and it's all connected, like, in my opinion, like with AI, period, point blank, from writing a paper to the end.
Yeah. I want to get back to the conversation about like authenticity and the human premiumness of it. Cause like you said, like that steak should be $125, right? But because you brought it up, let's circle back to education.
Okay.
Because like, what is the point of education, right? Like
learning.
This essay of like, if you assign a student, write me an essay on why Hamlet matters, right?
Yes.
Is the goal for them to know what Hamlet is the goal for them to be able to form an argument, is the goal for them to be able to critically think and research. Is it written communication? Is it grammar? Like, right? Like, what is that?
All of that.
What is the goal of write me an essay on Hamlet?
You know why you read Hamlet is because one day you're going to have to read terms and conditions. And that's more boring than Hamlet.
It is.
But because you have to spend time learning what they're saying, analyzing what they're saying, researching what they're saying, and figuring it out, it kind of makes reading terms and conditions easier. And all the other sort of above a 6th grade level literary writing that you have to deal with, more digestible.
Now, let me play devil's advocate and make an argument here where...
Hey, I can just summarize it for you.
No. That's not the argument I'm making. Let's say you have a student who has read Hamlet, has done the research, has critical thought, right? And can sit down and talk to you for an hour on their point.
He gets an A.
But they can't write a paper.
He gets an A.
Right? You see this already with like making like different test taking conditions for like neurodiversity because
you're talking about like clepping. It's almost like clepping.
I don't know what that means.
Like you speak fluent Spanish for the most part, right? You shouldn't have to take Spanish 1 or 2 if you in college. You should be able to clep it, and they test you on that. They're like, hey, let's have a conversation. Hey, let's do some written stuff. Okay, good. You can pass 1 or 2. So here's your credit. I think the same thing should be true in that regard. If you're intelligent enough,
but that's why, like, if the assignment is
but you're
write
acting
an
like
essay
the
on Hamlet.
majority of these kids can do any of it.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm like literally playing devil's advocate with this like very special, like can do all of that, but can't write an essay. If the assignment is write an essay on Hamlet, and they just like they write shit essays. They just write shit essays. They know all this stuff.
Like
that's my question.
No,
You
okay.
know,
So yes, in the education sphere, a professor shouldn't fail a student because they can't write essays. this is also the same thing with like testing. Like some students are just bad test takers. They're smart as shit, but we put them on the clock, they freak out, they fuck up. So there should be space within that. But I think this hypothetical is not normal at all. Like most of the time, but I'll give you another example. I've had students who, as soon as I start getting them to talk about their interests, whether it's like video gaming, whether it's cosmetology, whether it's what, they're fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And so what I do as an educator a lot of times is I let them talk about their interests and then I shift it. And it's just shift your energy about shit you care about into shit that you don't care about for like 5 minutes, because that's kind of life. When you're working at a job, you're going to be dealing with a lot of shit you don't care about, but you need to like tap in. And so that's what's getting lost.
Yeah.
And so,
and that's where like the question is, and again, don't speak if your, like your job depends on you not talking about this. But like, does universities, the education, et cetera, need better AI policing, or does it just need to change the assignment?
No, they need to get AI out, period. Like I am making, and not just me, but a lot of other professors across the nations and universities and community colleges you're writing this by hand in class. When we were younger, sometimes we had 45-minute 2-paragraph assignments. Blue books. You wrote this shit out by hand. And like sometimes that blows kids' mind. Like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? It's like you have the research, you know what the topic is, do it. And if you need more time, I have plenty of more time to give you. And few things that I'm noticing, so I'll just kind of keep it to myself, but other professors have echoed this, is by doing it by hand, they're retaining more. They're understanding how to connect A plus B equals C more, and critical thinking more. The tactile writing of it and the time constraint is also forcing them to have to think faster than sort of what the input usually is, so that they can produce at a quicker clip, which is great. And it's just been shown to do overall better.
Well, and I think that's the argument of like change the assignment, right? In this case, we're changing it back to the way it used to.
Change the classroom.
Change the classroom. Change the model. Change all of it, right? Like
pre-K through 12 is fucking up. Because I swear to God, because they're leaning way more into technology, like for everything. Like parents want to see their kids' grades like in live real time. I think that's a bad thing. Because
assignments every kid has a Chromebook, assignments are online.
All those things. And so, and then also if your kid gets a D, but like the kid turned it in late and asked for an extension and the teacher inputs a D, but with the one-on-one of like, hey, but I'm going to let you remake this.
Yeah.
But then your parent calls cussing me the fuck out because I gave you a D because they don't know that context. It's like, that is again, now my job sucks because we're all in this virtual fuckery.
Well, and I think we've talked about something similar to this on the pod before, where like I was making the argument for like classrooms should become Socratic symposiums again, right? It's the idea of like argue your point, right? Like have an open have a conversation, have a
these
dialogue.
Kids way too much credit, bro.
Well, yeah, no, I am, but like that should be, if we're talking about like critical thinking. Honestly, yes, much sooner. I mean, I'll be honest. When I went to college, I was not prepared for college.
No, same. I wasn't either.
I did not know how to study.
I didn't realize I went to a shitty, lot of shitty schools until I went to college.
Yeah, I didn't know how to study.
I didn't know MLA formatting.
Yeah, none of that, right? And it was this big old like, shit, well, now I got to figure out what to do, right?
Yeah.
And you're alone.
And
you don't have not alone, but you don't have a parent to tell you that this is a thing too. So it's that mixed in.
No, and also like if your parent never went to college, even if you're with your parents, they can't help you, right?
Yeah.
So I agree there. So as a parent, actually, since you brought that up, I
just dropped my son off at college yesterday.
I know. That's why this is interesting. Would you rather your kid earn all C's on work that they did themselves, or earn A's on work that they had AI help with?
Oh, easy answer, all C's. If on work that they did themselves, because then I know that they know the premise, even though they're not experts at it, but they know the premise because they got all C's. So I would rather them knowing the premise of the work, because an F student with AI will get an A. You don't got to know the shit. You just got to put in the right prompt and you'll get an A. I'm not, but again, and I'm not a teacher. So I don't completely agree with Rooster on his stance, but he's looking at it as an educator.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as if it's a tool, then I don't have a problem with the tool.
So this is kind of like the flip side of it. Like if the student uses AI to do the research, right, to find out the information, or to tutor on, like, I don't know what MLA format is, you know, like, hey, break it down for me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, but writes the essay themselves, is that a problem, right? If they're used as like a learning tool, not a content generator.
So if AI does all of the research.
No. It's like if they, you know, back in the day, you used to have to go to the library and you had to find, you know, the encyclopedia and look up fucking George Washington and all of that, right? Then the internet came along and now you can Google shit, right? Right. Or you can get ebooks. And so instead of having to read the whole book, you can Spark Notes came out, audiobooks came out, right? And now we have AI where, like, instead of Google, we can be like, hey, AI, who the fuck was George Washington and why should I care? Right?
Yeah.
And then you write the essay.
So
where does this land? Right? Again, I'm just throwing out
no. So, but
topics to
here's
debate.
The thing. What you're saying, even if you take AI out of it, those things exist. Microsoft Word will format your shit for you. Like, there's already, you don't even, if you going to the library and looking up shit is this much more fluid and helpful thing now than it was when we were students. Like, librarians now will help you from start to finish your research. The internet, one of the things I miss, you remember websites? Like, not to say they don't exist, but you remember, like, the late 90s or 2000s, you went to, like, the museum website. You went to, like, GeorgeWashington.com. There was a government site that had facts. So research then kind of made more sense. The problem I see now is when you say, like, well, what if the AI does the research? Is it's like, well, it's just mass grabbing all this stuff and you still don't know what's right, versus, hey, I went to the GeorgeWashington.gov website and gathered that information from there. And yeah, it's, you know, bullshit or whatever. But that was sort of this fair transactional passage of information. Now AI is sort of, the simplest way I put it, whenever someone says I did my research using ChatGPT or AI, is, to me, that's no different than, like, the really smart guy at the bar. Like, most bars have the really smart guy. He's just there and it's like, hey man, what's that deal about anthropology? And it's like, well, so, like, we all kind of moved out of Africa as people and then this happened and then there was a land bridge migration. Smart guy knows a lot, but it's not the end all be all. And it's kind of limited by other shit that they heard and da-da-da-da. That to me is ChatGPT research, because most of the time anytime I can find students' papers and it's like, oh, you use ChatGPT. How do you know? It's like, because this here right here is bullshit. George Washington didn't discover elephants. You know, like, it's, you know, it's something like that. And they're like, oh, really? And like, that's the problem, is the, oh, really? Or the, huh? Like, that is what the goal of education is, to start to chip away at the oh, reallys and the huh. And they're like, now you either have new knowledge or the skills to acquire all the necessary things.
I guess, to me, even what you explained, that's not the fault of the AI. It's a fault of the teaching, right? Because if I go to the library and get Encyclopedia Britannica and learn and read all about George Washington there, and it gives me the information that's there, or I Google George Washington and get the information there, because I've learned somewhere along the way how to differentiate information, if it's not in multiple sources, then you don't use it, right? There needs to be a secondary source to back it up. So if AI tells me George Washington invented elephants, Or if Encyclopedia Britannica tells me George Washington invented elephants, I need a secondary source to confirm this. And if there's no secondary source, then I don't use it. But that's something that I learned through being taught
That's
how
research
to
strategies.
right, being taught how to research. So even for the student,
we teach them
for
that.
the student who gets the AI, who ChatGPT does all of their research, but they then write the paper without secondary source confirmation, then that's not on the ChatGPT.
You're totally right.
That's on the student.
You're totally right. But the problem are the teacher. But that's what I'm saying is we're teaching research strategies and teaching everything you're saying, secondary sources, primary sources. Look at what a credible source versus a non-credible source versus a scholarly source. Like, I teach that shit.
I saw it on Wikipedia.
Well, actually, I was just going to say that. Wikipedia is starting to become more of a credible source than it was back in the day, because at least they have standards now. Which is crazy. Like, so while, yes, you can find fucked up misinformation on there, they try to police it as much as possible. ChatGPT and that don't. And so, but that's what I'm saying is, like, they teach that, and still, to me, the lesson or the primary conflict in education also is students and parents devaluing what education is, period. They think what I want is just a paper. They think it's just, let me just give you what, and then I can move along. And it's like, no, kid, that's not what learning is.
It's the idea of, like, show me your work, right? It's when you were learning math, and it's like, yes, you can use a calculator, but I want you to show me how you got to the answer, even if, you check it with a calculator or whatever the case may be. And I think that's also, that goes back to the argument about that, one-off 1% of, like, the student who can do the research, can, understands the assignment, blah, 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 but just can't produce the final product, and maybe has to use AI to write the actual essay, right? It's like, if you can show me your work, if you can argue it, if you can, if you can prove to me you have a mastery understanding of this, then, again, I'm not an educator, but then, like, I don't care if the essay itself was written by AI.
I'll give you another example, which I think is kind of along the lines of your hypothetical, but more common than not.
Sure.
And it's usually, this I see in young men, is I have to...
You're looking at young men?
I'm looking at them. I'm looking at their bot. No.
None of that is true, y'all. None of that. Do not come to us.
I feel like with young men specifically between the ages of 18 and 21, it's like they want me to validate why an education and a degree is beneficial to them.
Oh, 100%. But that's a whole nother conversation.
No, yeah. And I'm not trying to get too deep in that. But what I was going to say is this, going back to this 1% hypothetical student who masters everything, they understand it, but they can't create papers. Maybe they're dyslexic or something like that. Like, there's accessibility things to help that student, period. There's extra tutoring opportunities. There's all kinds of things so that brilliant kid can then succeed. What I think is the problem, and what sometimes gets lost in these hypotheticals, is sometimes students think they're masters of something, and thus I'm just here because I need to get my degree so then I can get my good job. And it's like, no, kid, like, one, you don't know shit,
right?
Like, at all. Like, it's, I don't know how y'all function sometimes. And again, specifically for young men, because they'll sit there like almost like upset that they have to be there, not knowing you don't have to be here.
Sure.
You can leave. And if there were more of these sort of hyper exceptional students, like, or individuals, like, yeah, go be an entrepreneur, but they don't know how to. And that's not what this is. This is, can you learn things? Can you think critically? Can you provide constructive feedback? Can you contribute to conversations that is then makes you a valuable person in the workforce for any job? If you can't do that, then you're not valuable to the workforce either, kid. Like, just because sometimes students, I think like inspiration and like hopeful dreaming of like lifestyle, like living that they want to have,
just happens.
Or like that's the rocket fuel to get them to living some Andrew Tate lifestyle. And it's like, no, one, he was a rich Nepo kid of a famous tennis player and a kickbox. Like, he also was I guess made money in kickboxing and other shit. So, like, there's levels to this. So if you want to go do that, there's the blueprint. But if you just think like, I'm just going to say misogynistic, vile shit on the internet, and someone's going to be like, I like what you said, kid, here's your $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how any of this shit works.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not teaching you long division because I like teaching you long division. Right? There's a greater purpose here. So to kind of bring this conversation to a close, and to get back to that idea of like authenticity and like the human premium of it, right? Like, I think from a values, ethics, morals perspectives, you're always going to have people that are like, I don't care if it's better or worse. If it's human made, I'm going to value it more than if it's AI made. I think that exists already. And I don't think that that's something that's changing.
The economics play a role in that, though. Oh,
well, yeah. Like there's definitely,
because
like,
if you can afford a premium on it, then you will pay the premium.
And that's the, that's the, let's use coffee as an example. Like, when you go to the gas station and you get that coffee, like that ain't great coffee.
Unless it's QT coffee.
Unless it's QT coffee.
Sponsor us, please.
And that is why people go to Starbucks or wherever, right?
Or QT.
Or
where it's
Bros,
delicious.
What is it called? Brothers? Dutch Brothers,
But
right?
still, yeah, QT.
QT, whatever.
And great breakfast sandwiches.
It's why
as well.
you go to Babes and not McDonald's, right?
Babes, amazing milkshakes.
It's why you get
Tremendous
your
French
T-bone
fries.
steak at Perry's and not Chili's.
Yeah.
You pay a premium.
Not at Jim's, but Jim's also delicious.
Also
great
delicious.
milkshakes. Yes.
Also delicious.
Looking for sponsors.
There is something though, and there's something to be said about that idea of like human made, like proof that it was human made, and a lot of that comes in the like imperfections. Right. Like I work with leather and like I do it by hand. So like it's not always perfectly symmetrical. It's not all whatever. Right.
Cows be different
because it's handmade. Right. And some people pay a premium for that. Do we have to give up the M dash as poets? I think,
no,
like
I think we need to violently fight back for it.
No, but I think that's the kind of the question that I'm like posing here is like, do artists start making their work purposely imperfect to prove that it was human made, right? From writing perspective, we're talking about the M dash, right? Like the poets were using the M dash long before ChatGPT, fucking commandeered it. But now when I write and I want to put an M dash in there, I feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't because people might think that AI wrote this. And kind of same thing with like music or anything else. It's like, do you start is the burden of proof on you to show that you made it because it isn't perfect? And do we now value imperfection more than, perfection?
That's a tough one because I don't want to make it imperfect.
Right. You want to make the best work you can.
I want to make the best work I can.
But limitations be a thing.
But it for me, it really does go back to the idea that if it's good art, it's going to rise. If it's good art, it's going to rise. Mm. Even if, and if it's bad art, new rapper. I know you hate when.
I don't hate. I learn something new every time.
New rapper.
Lil Troy.
No. New rapper.
Little Gang.
Phoenix something. Phoenix.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I forgot.
Had a song that came out and blew up, and then he had to perform the song. And when it got to the performance part of the song, he had to admit, oh, this was actually AI. Like, he's a real person.
This is why I hate Mariah Carey.
He's a real person, but he had to admit, hey, this was AI. In that space, so back to your idea of making it imperfect, he probably wouldn't have blown up if the song wasn't what it was. Mm-hmm. But he shouldn't have blown up because he
couldn't do what was on the record.
And so in those spaces, I'm like, yeah, don't shoot for imperfection, just be able to
I mean, it goes back to the whatever song you were talking about. That was not a good song, but it was a
That was a
bop for
great
like
song.
hot.
Oh no, the
minute.
song was good, but the
Rapper himself.
No, not this one.
No, we know.
yeah, want to be a baller.
Oh, okay.
You've heard it.
Sure.
No, I swear you've heard it.
Want to be a baller?
See?
Shock
See? You've heard it. Yeah.
Played on the Impala. Okay, just I wanted to make sure we were talking about the same
Great
song.
song.
Yeah. Okay, well then, nix that argument. Then
Good song. It just the album was trash.
the album was trash. Okay.
My thought on so first, Will.i.am was on a podcast talking about this. I don't think his idea is going to work, but he wants to essentially create a new form of documenting real people art. And
The process.
well, the final result. So, for instance, and this is why I disagree with him because Will is smart but also stupid.
Always welcome.
Always
on the
welcome
pod.
on the pod. We can debate this because you are brilliant in some facets. But his argument is if he makes a song and it's artisan made, we'll say human made, blah blah blah, that rather than giving it a wave or a one of those file types that we typically use for music or MP3, MP4, that he wants to create a new one called like POV or like person made PM or something like that. That way, you know that it was person made, but then also that you can sell it at a premium or sell it like for quality.
It's an artisanal free range song.
But
But
here's
see, how does that work?
no, go ahead, jump in.
Like, if I go in the studio right now, me, and find some drums, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
on a
doing.
drum kit.
And a synth piano.
I bang out some drums, and then I go over here on the piano and bang out some keys, and then I put my vocals over this drum and keys. Is that AI?
No, but it's not human made either.
But it's not human made, right?
Right.
I can't
I
play the
didn't play
drums.
those fucking drums.
I
And
can't
those
play-
weren't real horns.
Right.
That was a synth piano.
Yeah.
So it's
And a lot of music is made that way.
I agree.
right,
You know?
right.
Which
so,
is why I think his argument doesn't fully hold
So
up.
right, okay, that's what I was getting at. I was like, this isn't human made
I
at this
agree.
point. It's not AI.
But but that's the argument is human made versus AI generated.
right. But it's
And that's not part of this argument.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
then continue.
No, so I think the problem I have with human made versus AI has nothing to do with the products necessarily either. A larger part of it is the disingenuousness of corporations,
Yeah.
as always, period.
It's the deception and dishonesty
They're
of it.
going to deceive us. They're going to sell us shit. They're going to want to get the same price or more than, something shitty or even shitty art, for instance. But I think that is where we can maybe fight back a little bit is if I'm watching, like, you'll never see that Frogman movie I'm talking about on sale for more than $10.
No.
But when you get to these larger studio productions and shit, like, yeah, they're going to want to sneak in as much AI as they can. They're going to want to fire as many writers as possible. And they're going to want to get it to you front and center and push aside
Oh shit!
anything else that has been made.
This Frogman movie is recent too. This is 2023.
Oh yeah, it's good. I fucks with it. It's hilarious, by the way. It is kind of scary.
You've mentioned it a couple of times. I'm like, well, this must be old. No, this came out like 3 years ago.
It was made for like $80 and like, someone's backyard, but it's hilarious. But my point is, our consuming habits are under attack because of algorithms, because of AI generated, targeted marketing, which I think is also something to consider in all this. You have basically trend and algorithm, which then leads to AI generated produced art to follow trends. So it's like, oh, people are listening to Fleetwood Mac. Let's make some fake AI Fleetwood Mac sounding shit. And all that is where I think human consumer and human artists have to fall back in love together like an AI romance novel and kiss because we're too separate and independent.
And I think part of that is the premium for human made. like
And also, you can be mad. Like, I don't think people understand, like, you also have the right to get bad art. Like, nothing, like, streaming, I think, is kind of fucked that up. It's like, I could have been home watching Law and Order again because Law and Order is awesome.
allegedly.
But you didn't. You got out the house. You had an experience. You went to a poetry show and you had a bad time because everyone said the Republicans suck. Hey, but you had an experience and now you can avoid that.
Yeah.
Or you can go see something else. You can watch Top Gun 2 90 million times. But I think, again, that's the gulf is widening between us as people.
Yeah. And that's where, from a consumer standpoint, the kind of like human premium conversation comes in, because it's like, you could get a wallet for me for $150. You could go get a pretty similar wallet over at Cavender's for $75, right? And it's like, I'm sorry, I can't charge less than $150 because I make everything by hand. Cavender's has a machine that prints out 3,000 of them at one time, right?
And Target has one that does 90,000.
Yeah, exactly. So like we already have a premium that's being added for things that are authentic, human made. It's why Etsy exists.
Yes.
Right?
And I think that's what I'm afraid of, is that we're going to, like, human shit is going to exist in an Etsy economy, and then everything else is just going to be jumbo fucked.
But I think
everything else is going to be Zara.
I think but in the space of the wallet, right? I think the AI generated stuff, whatever it is, or the mass produced stuff, whatever it is, like at some point you pay for the premium, the human generated premium thing, and the human generated premium thing has a much different value. Like I'll say this even with designer stuff, right? Like I'll go out and get I have several Coach bags, right?
You're wearing Coach shoes.
I own Coach shoes right now.
Those things are fly, by the way.
But I'll go out and get a Coach bag because I like Coach. And can you find a knockoff Coach bag just like mine somewhere? Sure you can. But when it comes down to the quality of the product, you're not getting this anywhere. So I don't mind paying the premium for it because I know that no one else is going to have this quality of bag in this space. I have a cigar case that I paid like $60, $70 for that I don't even use for cigars anymore, but it's a one-of-one Chibbi original.
That's right.
And so I have it.
So buy your Chibbi leather shit.
And when people see it and go, hey, that's a really dope cigar case, or right now it holds sunglasses, but that's a really dope sunglass case, I'm like, oh yeah, Chibbi made it.
Because I did.
Because he did.
Well, no, and the Coach bag is also a great example, because I could make that same Coach bag, but I have to charge twice what Coach charges, because it takes me a lot more time. I'm not getting stuff in bulk, so I don't get that bulk discount, right? Like, but I made it by hand.
Right.
And I think people will value that.
And I think people should value that. And when we go back to the AI of it all, I think if I'm in
Milan.
No, I was gonna say, if I'm in some city by the beach, my wallet falls apart. I just need a quick. I got a good wallet at home, but I just need a quick wallet. I'm gonna just go in the first store I see and be like, "Hey, let me get a wallet." And it may be a $10 wallet, but I'm gonna buy it, and it's gonna hold my cards till I get back home. Whatever. Excuse me. I think that's how I feel about AI as well, though. Like, I don't have a problem with the AI of it all, knowing who the audience is. Again, if it's school, if it's education, I'm completely against it. But if I go look at a podcast and it's 3 guys, 2 Latinos and a black guy, and they are hilariously funny, or they are talking about something that is just jokey, again, not for information, but just for the fun of it all, then I'm okay, this was funny. I'm all in, knowing that their faces aren't even real. the black guy's face is going to be distorted because AI can't do black guy faces for shit.
That's right.
But I'm all
He's gonna
for
have
it.
white guy features with dark skin.
Right. But so that's where I'm like, I don't mind the AI in entertainment. I don't want it in information.
I don't want AI in production. Period. but here's I think just to kind of put a finer point on it. It's because
My point was fine, Dan.
no, I mean like a finer point on everything I've said.
On your point.
On everything I've said is that
Did I move?
no.
Okay.
It's that AI is really helping people who don't produce shit, like
Agreed.
podcasters, scam artists, financial, crypto, what's the other one? The betting that's poly markets.
Prediction markets.
Yes. When you literally have nothing to sell, AI is great for you to just be out there. It's going to create your business plan. It's going to tell you how to dress. It's going to tell you what to say, and you can just move on that all day. And I think what the existential crisis comes is using your leather business as an example, which is fantastic. Like you make amazing stuff. Oh yeah. Like our friends buy it and support and like it. Like we don't even do it on that. Like, oh yeah, I bought one of Chibby's things. And,
Yeah, like no, right.
like genuinely people like it and appreciate it. But then upscaling it becomes much more difficult. And that's what I think the problem is yes, a high cost premium to human made shit is cool, but it's also a bit unfair because everything else is losing value, being quicker in its production. And so when it just makes it harder for quality shit to upscale, and why I think the cream isn't going to rise the same that it used to historically, because upscaling it costs too much. Like if you produce anything, whether it's music, whether it's leather work,
But
whether it's books.
even with leather work, I think so. If Chibbi decides to upscale, then the upscale comes in the upcharge. Like if Chibbi realizes, you know what, it's costing me this much to make this bag, and I want to make more bags. To make more bags, he's going to have to cut corners somewhere, and then it's no longer going to be a Chibbi made product. It's going to be a Chibbi design product that somebody else makes. But if I want Chibbi's hands on it, then that's going to cost more. Yeah. And so even now, if I ask for a Chibbi bag today and I say, Chibbi, I need a bag by tomorrow, he's going to tell me, let's see what I got in leather. If he has the materials, a bag by tomorrow is going to cost you 10 times what it would cost because of all of the things that go into that. So I think, but if I want the same bag tomorrow, I can go get the AI generated produced bag from Walmart for $8. Or I can.
And I think that was the argument that you were making is like at some point, the human made stuff we're too expensive. People get priced out. Right. And you can't, you can have your values and morals and ethics. And it's like, hey, I want to support you in your artisanal Substack that you wrote yourself.
I want to buy more Chibbi shit, but you cost.
But you cost money.
I respect that.
I can't afford it. So I'm going to go to Walmart.
You could afford it, but your life changes made you not be able to afford it.
So this has been a fantastic discussion.
Good.
I love you guys.
This is fun.
And obviously this is not like, I didn't bring this topic as a way for us to like land on like a final thing, because this is an ever evolving subject. So like listeners, I don't know, let us know what you think about all this shit. Did you have to give up the M-2? Because that one hurt.
So when you see the thumbnail for this, know that Chibbi made it by hand. Spent hours.
I'm about to go home and do some AI creation right now.
Absolutely not. I did not. Why? Where did you go?
Me?
Yeah, look at where you are.
I'm here.
Okay, there you are. Now you're there. Yeah, I'm sorry, listeners. I do not write those captions. I don't even want to make the posts, y'all.
No, I think
really don't.
One last thing on it, and I think
Do you have it on a automated?
No, because I do still review it, because it's like, no, that's a dumb idea. I'm not posting that, right? Yeah. Like I do still review it.
When I was podding, it was automated.
Is all,
and then I would look at it and be like, oh, delete. Like I did. It's already up, but take this down.
And like, to be fair, I did just put an ask out there. Like, you want to be a marketing intern at Gemini's Productions?
You did.
You know, if you want to be a marketing intern and get experience,
Come work for this dude.
come work for Gemini's Productions for no pay because I can't afford to pay you.
Yeah.
Real talk.
But you will learn a lot.
you will.
No, you will learn a lot.
You will.
And that's
and you might get a free dog harness out of it, maybe.
You know what?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past me to give you something for free.
No, a dog harness.
A dog harness.
Yeah, even if you don't have a dog, just a
You
free
know
dog
what?
harness.
I'll find use for it.
Damn it.
we appreciate y'all sluts for hanging out with us though on the Poodle Pinche Pod. Thank you, Paul, for hanging out with us.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you've been great. This sorry for another hour-long episode, but that's what happens when you have Paul. Paul. Paul, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
I am findable at Paul Did It, PAULDIDIT, or Poetry According to Paul, because that's all AI generated.
All AI generated
Yeah.
animation, the poetry itself.
poetry is all me.
And the voice itself.
The voice is me.
Is you. All right. Rooster, where can they find you?
You can find me on MySpace.
That's right.
Roost. I don't even remember how we did those. But yeah, no, you can find me on Gemini's Productions doing these pods and shit.
You can find Rooster out on those streets.
That too.
'Cause he don't interact with people digitally. That's a lie.
Where can they find you, Chibbi?
They can find me on Instagram, Gemini's, GEMINEYES. And of course, you can go to poodlepinchapod.com/pod to support the pod. I think we're getting new merch. I think I'm redesigning the logo.
Okay.
So by the time this airs, all of the original Poodle Pinche merchandise that's on the website will be on sale because we will no longer be selling V1, season 1 through 3 of Poodle Pinche merchandise. New merchandise coming soon. Go on the website. They're cute shirts, y'all.
It will not be on sale. Trust me. Me and Chibbi are going to have a conversation after this.
There you go.
It won't be on sale.
It won't be on sale, but it's already on sale.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.